everybody. I have just taken my bag of Lavish laces things out that I received this month, and I thought I'd have a little play. And what I've done is I slightly tea stained this beautiful trim, and I've just ripped the top of it off. That's the top of it there, and I put a snip and I ripped it all the way along. Now it's even here, but of course you can see as it ripped it got narrower and narrower, so I have different thicknesses of it. I thought I'd have a little play with it. The really thin bits on the end I've just made a couple of little bows, so it I hope I'm saying it kind of went down like that, and see how it gets more narrow as it goes along, and these ones were even more narrow on the end over there. So I made a couple of bows, and I thought, well, maybe I can make some sort of embellishments from these. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it. I'm looking on my desk at any scraps I've got. I've got a few leftover bits, but I'd prefer to use my Lavish laces that I've received. I've got some lovely things in it. I've also got, well, there's some lovely narrow laces I can use as well. Oh, that one would be good as well, actually. Just spotted that one. So we can cut a couple of pieces off that one too, I think. Just let me get my nice scissors. So move those up there. I'm not quite sure what this is going to, it's just playing around at the moment. So if I do 2 of each, whatever I'm making, then it's at least more than one, isn't it? Right, this one's lovely. I can have a bit of that. Cut a bit of that off. It's nice. Try and make them a bit different. What else have I got in there? This one's beautiful. Oh, there's 2 there. Look at that. Which one? I love this colour. It's just so beautiful. Or there's that one there. I might use a bit of that one, actually. It's so delicate. Okay, goes away. Such lovely laces. I hope you're all keeping well. I love this. Look at this. This is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not quite sure how I would use it. I'm just going to cut one off, I think. I'll then just cut a bit up there like that. And see what we can do with that little piece there. Oh, I love that. I'm trying to keep my desk kind of tight. It's not going to work, I know it. No, it doesn't want to go in just yet. Okay, so what can we do with this? Got that and that. That, 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 that. Let's have a look. down there. It's beautiful, isn't it? So pretty. No, I don't think it's going to work with that one. I also right, I think I need something to go behind this one. Do I need a bit of this as well? Because we can have a larger one. Maybe I will put a bit of this behind. Like that. Make sure we got the right side. A bit difficult to know what size it is, what side it is. Something like that, maybe. What about a little something? That might work. This. It's lovely, isn't it? I like to do at least two, because if I do two and I make a journal, I can have, and I usually make 2 signatures in a journal. I can put one in the first signature and one in the second signature. It just seems to be the way I do things. And if I only make one signature, then I've got a spare one for another journal at some stage. What else? What can we do here? We've got what's this? I wonder if I could use a bit of that. Isn't it beautiful? Look at it. It's so pretty. toy. Maybe we can just cut this one in half like that for a bit of texture. And here, like that. This could be maybe that will work a bit better. Keep the colours. We have some flowers. Have these lovely flowers here. Look at this. Maybe we can use a couple of flowers on them. Don't know how I'm going to put that on or how it's going to work, but we'll just put it there. And there. What else have we got? Okay, let's have a look. That's the obvious place to put it, but it doesn't mean it's staying there. Like that. Oh, I've got these little bows, haven't I? Forgot about those. Maybe they can go somewhere. Oh, that added a bit of light to it, didn't it? Well, okay, let's just leave it there. Right. Okay, there's some sari silk bits here from a past project. This wasn't planned, but they're just sitting on my desk. Maybe I can add that in there somehow. Like that. Where did I put that other one in there? Okay, we can put it there like that, just to add some texture to it. Now, what else? Maybe we can just leave it there for the moment and get some thread. I'm trying to think what thread. Maybe just a crochet thread would be good. Maybe this one here. I can try. What's that? Mainly just playing around, making little clusters and things. And when you start doing things like this, it can lead to other things. Like you can just make a couple of clusters and then it gets you in the mood to do other things as well, which is always good, especially if you're not quite sure what you want to be doing at the moment. Now, I'm actually going to leave a tail because I like tails and things like that hanging off in things when you're, in clusters. It's okay to have a bit of shabbiness going. So what I think I'll do is I'll put those like that. We'll start at this big one. Like that. What I'm going to do is kind of scrunch this onto there like that. It doesn't have to be neat and tidy the way I do it. And I'm going to leave the long end at the front of the piece because, like I said, I just want it to look shabby. So I'm going to have that tail hanging out there. And I've taken a little stitch and I'll take another stitch over that as well just to anchor it like that. And then I'm just going to scrunch it up and then put my needle through like that because I don't want it flat. See how that sort of scrunches it up there? And then once again scrunching it the next piece, and I'll come through to hold that into place. And then I'll probably do another little stitch there as well to hold it. Like that. So, although the back is staying fairly flat, like that, the front is, it's got this little gathered bit going on, which will add it, make it look nice. But it doesn't have to be even all the way along. Like I could take just a couple of stitches there, leaving it flat. Like that. Take another little back stitch to hold it. Like that. And then scrunch another little bit like that and push my needle through. And see, Just adds a little bit of interest there. Come back through. Take a stitch to hold it. Like that, because my stitches aren't there to be on show, but you know, it doesn't matter if you see them or not. And I'm not keeping it straight at the top. See how the lace is going in different directions. Now I can scrunch another little bit more if I want there. And come back and take a little stitch just to hold it in that position. Like that, see? And then see where we're taking this. Kind of want it like that perhaps, so we might go in, out, back over here. Take a stitch there to hold it. Like that. I might just take a little running stitch there. Back stitch to hold it. Right, and now I want to introduce this little piece here. And I'm going to try and do the same sort of thing here, so I can kind of overlap that part there, because I might want it flat in the center to put an embellishment on it. So we'll just take it over there and put another little back stitch to hold it, and then a running stitch there. Back stitch to hold it. Like that. And then scrunch it and take it in. That, come back out. And take a little back stitch, come up a bit further, do the same thing again, little back stitch to hold it, like that. I don't want it going straight, so I'm going to angle this next piece a bit. And you just stick the needle in and create the kind of look you want. See how that goes up and down now? That's nice, and then this one can come back up just a little. Like that perhaps. So take a running stitch there. And a bit of a back stitch there. Maybe another one, because that's quite loose, that weave. Yeah, and then a couple of running stitches, and then a back stitch, and another one, and a knot, then leave a long tail again, and that's how I added that. It can get glued to something, the top of a tag or the top of a page or envelope or whatever you like. Now what were we going to do? These little bits I had put on there, hadn't I? Let's see where the big bow's going to go first. Is it going to go in the centre there? Because that could look nice. And then this, because it's a different colour, can go to one side like that, to add that bit of interest. The flower we always think of on the bow, but it doesn't have to go on the bow. It could go under here like that. Just want that to look a bit more scraggly there. Just twist it up a bit. Like that, let me see. Quite like that. I could always put another flower there, over here. What about one of these little ones? So, oh, that's the bigger one. The middle one. Put a little one over there. And because I've done that there, I'll put one over on that one. But I could also stitch some little pearls or something like that, or sequins or something in there if I want. I'm scanning my desk for ideas. Because that could go there, couldn't it? It doesn't have to go in the middle. It could go like that, which is quite nice. Have it with this piece like that. Could go like that. It could. I could have a button on there as well. I've got any in laying around. Oh, there's a little bit of something there. No. You got your toy. You got two toys. I've got many little ones in here now. I tend to grab them a lot. That's not a mother of pearl button, but it could work. It's just a vintage button. And there's something like that. That's really quite pretty. Shell button. A little mother of pearl button there. Need to get more little ones. Oh, there's another little one there. I can put that on that one over there. Okay, we might stick with that. So yeah, we'll stick with that. Okay. Right. So it's a matter of stitching those down. You could glue if you want to glue. I quite like stitching things. So I'll probably stitch things. I think I pulled that a little bit tight at the beginning there. But once it's glued onto something later, it should be alright. I may come and add little bits. Not sure. Not quite sure. But I like the way that looks, and that was not hard to do. Let me lift it up so you can see. That wasn't hard to do at all, was it? And I don't have to put those flowers there if I don't want to, but I quite like them. Just so they, you know, because of the colour tones all work together. So let's make some decisions here and start stitching things on. So I'm doing from the bottom to the top. This is quite straggly, this little bit, so I just need to put a few stitches in it. I don't want it, you know, solid. I kind of want it movable, that's the word. So once again, just leaving my thread to the front of the piece. So I've got more, not that you see it really. And I'm just putting a couple of stitches. Oops. Let's not tangle it up. A couple of stitches there. A couple of stitches here. And the same on this little bit here. Getting tangled on everything. Like that, and turn it around and just do another stitch in them to hold it in position how I like it. Okay, like that, and then get my bow and just stitch the bow on. Oops. I hope that dryer's not too loud in the background. I did close the door, but I think the dog has been in there and opened the door a little bit. Okay, let's just put a knot in the back there. Put my stitch down. I'm just going to bring it up over here now. I can't use this needle for this button, I don't think, because see how tiny the hole is. It won't go through it. I don't think it might have. Let's just sew our little flowers on. Knot that. Another one over here, I think. Just like sewing a button on, so there's still lift in it. There we go, like that. And then finish it off. I don't think that goes, it might do, I might be wrong. Oh, it does. It goes through quite all right. Okay, well, we can still do that, I think. Put a couple of stitches. I don't think that's long enough, actually. No, it's not. We'll do it. One more thread. then I'm going to have a double thread on my button like that, so I'm leaving, I've got it doubled. I'll come up in the middle of my bow. Oh, I didn't knot the end. I won't. Trying to think. Actually, I'm going to knot the end further up, like that. So I have a tail, and I'll do it from the front like this. That way I'm still getting those nice threads hanging down, and stitch my button on like that, I think. A little bit of getting through, but it's okay. Catches on everything, and that's okay. Okay, make sure I've got it the right spot. Won't need many stitches. Just enough to fill the middle of the button in and keep it like that. And then I'm going to come back up but under the button like that. And that way I can I'll just tie those two together, those tails, and that will go under the button, and I can snip it off like that. There we go. And there's our first embellishment made. And like I said, I may come back and put a few beads in that or something, or even a vintage sequins or something like that. I just haven't completely, I haven't thought it through to that stage just yet. Oh, there goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and play with these other ones, and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, so I've stitched them all. There's those two there. I put a button in the middle of the bow. So there's those two. And then I have this one here. I put another mother of pearl button. I did layer a little bit of brown tulle over the top of the flower as well. I had one flower like that, and I had one flower like that. They're both from Lavish Laces, but I only had one of each, so I did that and put a similar button on them. And then these are the last two. There's this one, and there's also that one. They kind of go in reverse direction. I did add another little bit of that beautiful lace piece. It's like a tatty lace, isn't it? And a little tulle knotted piece of knotted tulle just behind the flower in the center there as well, just to add a little bit more dimension. So they're the three that I've done. I've also gone ahead and made a couple of things that they can go on. I've got a couple of journaling cards there, a couple of heart shapes, and a couple of envelopes as well. And I've stitched around the edge of them. I also have some scraps of ledger paper that I thought would be nice to use on these. So maybe we'll start off with the hearts, seeing as they're on top. I'll take those two and use those on the hearts. Grab some ledger paper perhaps. What other bits do we have? Those ones. Another one there. We could use those. Let's have a look. maybe that can go like that, across the centre of the heart. The backs of the heart, I've just used some packaging paper to cover the back of the heart and the music paper on the front there. And so that one could go across like that. Like that. I may have to trim it up, I may not, it might be fine. So I think they look quite pretty like that. So let's just find some glue. I have to top up my glue soon. Okay. Just across that part there perhaps. I'll put the ledger paper. Don't want it too high because I want the snippet in the high part. I'm just going to rip that for the time being, like that. And do the same on this one here. If I rip that now, I know where I want it. Put it about just under that writing perhaps. This is just a tacky glue that I'm using. That one and that one, they look about right. That one can go there like that. And that one can go, that could have actually come a bit lower. I wonder if I can get it a bit lower. I'll have to put more glue on. When you're using vintage papers, if you try and take them off, it takes the backing off the paper. So sometimes, here we go, a bit lower. Okay, and that one can go there like that. Okay, we will get the rapid dry glue for this. I'm still testing this because I haven't been able to get the glue I used to use. It seems to be working all right. So I'm just going to put some of that there. And on here. It does take a little bit longer to dry than the original one that I used to use. It's like that. Looks nice. And like that. I can trim the ends up if I want to, or just leave them as they are. They look quite pretty the way they are. So that's the hearts done. And now I'll take these little journal cards here. They're backed just with it's a marbled kind of paper. It was a scrap I had. So what were we putting on those? I think we were putting, I think I'm going to put the larger one on here, like that. There's the other one. That's the other one there, like that. I think that will work quite nicely. Did I want to add something to those flowers first, though? I picked out a couple of sequins. I may stitch a sequin on just in the, see what it looks like, in the centre of the flowers there. That. And they're not too shiny, they're really pretty, these sequins. Now I could just do a large French knot or something in centre and hope that that holds it. We will see, I guess. Like that. I think that looks quite pretty. It doesn't, it's not too, it's not drawing attention to itself too much. I'm just going to put a knot in the back there, like that, and then come across to this one here, like that. I don't know if there's any right or wrong way to these sequins, to be honest. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll do 7 in that one. I've just got to hold that thread firm so that it tightens up the French knot for me. Like that. Yes, yes, I like that. Okay, let's finish that off. Okay. Yes, I think it looks nice like that. And that needs gluing on there because these are already stitched around, so let's give it quite a wide border to hold it. Like that. It's okay to have the edge showing at the top there. You can ink up your journal cards and things like that to start with if that's what you want to do. I don't always ink things, sometimes I do, but not always. So that's nice, I like that. I'll go ahead and do the same for this one. Okay, so that one's done now as well. And now we have the envelopes to do, and I've stitched around the sides. I have left that one so far because I was thinking I've got these two here to go on, but I may stitch another lace on from the laces on there. Just have a little look. What have I used in there? See, maybe. Oh, let's have a look. What have we used? Okay, so I could either use this one or this one, I'm thinking. Just as a, like, across like that, and then have that in the center like that. That looks quite nice. Let's have a look at the other one. The reason I've chosen those ones is because they're a little bit wider. So this, I like the contrast of this one. So I could just have that like that, and that kind of in the center there. Like that. I need to lift it up so I can see it a bit. There we go, like that. I could have the silver one, which would look probably lovely because it's not straight, it's just like that, and then have that there like that. But that commits me to silver, really, doesn't it? And I'm just not, it's lovely. It is lovely. I'm not sure I want to be committed to the silver for this particular journal I'm thinking of. So let me, what about something like that with a little ruffle? No, no. I do have this lovely lace here. Oh, I have that other one too. So I have this lovely one. Or I could use some more of this. I'll make sure I got it. I could put some of that there. And have that. That. Or this one, where is it? This is another one. This one hasn't been pressed though. I did tea stain it. This one might work nicely. Across. Quite like the contrast. I don't have to have it that thick. I could make it a bit smaller. Or I could lift it up a bit perhaps. No, I don't want to lift it up. There. So I could cut that off there. Like that. We'll take 2 pieces of that. That's 3 scallops. Wide. Put my iron on a bit. And give it a press. I might just trim it down though. A little. That will come in handy. Right, let's have a look. That way. right. Put that one over there. It's the right way, isn't it? Yes. So that one can go there, like that. What I might do is stitch that on the sewing machine. Let's make sure I've got it exactly where I want it. That. But what I might do is look at this pretty lace, isn't it lovely? Really pretty, such a lovely colour as well. Oh, it looks, blends in quite a bit there. Thought it was going to be a different colour, but it's turned out almost the same colour, so that one might be alright. Just want it to stand out a little bit. Let's have a look. That way. Yeah, that might be alright. What I want is just a little bit, a couple of little bits on the end there. Right. Back. 2 for that one, 2 for that one. What I will do when I stitch it on is sort of put that there the right way round and kind of maybe just give it a kink, just so it looks like it's part of this, because that's not quite long enough. So what I'll do is I'll stitch those on and I'll come back and show you, but what I think I might do is just put a tiny little bit of, not too much, because it's got to go in my sewing machine, tiny little bit of glue in there to keep that straight while I stitch it. Yep, and then I'll stitch those. Oh no, where's the other one? Did I just lose one? Oh, I've lost one. Oh no, there it is. Okay, I'll go stitch those on. Yes, and I'll be back. Alright, that's how they look. See, I just sort of folded it over on both ends like that and zigzagged across it, so the back looks finished as well. And now I can just go ahead and put some glue on here. And this is sort of showing you a way how to use these sorts of things. You can make lots of these little snips in advance and have them in a little pile, and then when you're making something you can just add them. You don't have to have a project in mind when you make them. You can just add them like that. I want that one a bit more that way, yeah, like that. And that looks quite nice, and it looks like it's all one piece now. Quite like that. Just don't want it quite so square, so I'll cut it on an angle. So I like that a lot. I may come back and put a bit of glitter in the centre of these, depending which way the journal goes that they're for. I could put sequins in them if I wanted to, but I didn't. So I'll go ahead and do the other one, then I'll come back and show you them all. So I've finished, and I'll show you how they turned out. I'm very happy with them. These are the hearts, like that. I think they're really sweet. I did end up putting some ink around the edge, just lightly, and that's the Distress ink in frayed burlap. Quite like that colour. So I just did the front of that. I didn't need to do the back of it with the ink. And that's the other one there. Nice little journal spot. And then the little journal spots here with the sequins in the flowers. Really pretty. Once again, I inked around them. And that's the other one there. And then lastly, I did the envelopes. I ended up, I put some ledger paper behind it. I had to squeeze it in there because I'd already stitched the lace onto the flap there. And then for the flowers, I put some liquid pearls in there. It's Liquid Pearls Platinum Pearl, it's called. And it just looks like tiny little pearls. I'm really happy. It's still drying though, so I've got to be careful not to touch it. And that's the inside of the envelope. And the back, just slightly inked. So that's one. And this one is the other one. So really nice and shabby, which is how I want them. I'm really happy with them. Always easy to achieve with Lavish laces. Gisela has beautiful laces and trims in her store in many different styles. I do tend to veer towards, you know, flat laces, although the occasional ruffled lace is nice as well. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll put links to Gisela's store in the description box below, and there's a coupon code for that as well if anybody is interested. So take care everybody, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.